This is Paul again, here at Arbor Domus, getting ready to show you the next episode of Swallow Build. Now, the last time we were together, I was showing you the wooden mock-up that was being used to build the floor plan for the treehouse and to lay out all the measurements for the structural support elements that we're going to have to go under the treehouse, concrete and steel. So as they put the mock-up in, they could drop plumb lines down, get exact locations for where the columns are going to go, where the piers are going to go, and then also get sight lines with the lasers for measurements to make sure that the steel is cut accurately. That was all done several weeks ago. We had a little bit of delay with the weather, but all that being said, here we go with the next big reveal. Ta-da, look at that, isn't that cool? This is the steel finally going into the treehouse. Now, it looks big, and it is big, but this treehouse is only going to be 460 square feet. But there's going to be a lot more steel underneath it to support it. So you'll see, if you go to the website and you look at Swallow House, you can see how the wood, comes across parts of the steel that are uncovered because the design isn't just all squares. So you will see that. But the really kind of cool thing that you're going to see here now is I'll show you the foundation piers, I'll show you how the steel connects, and I'll show you how we're going to get all the fun stuff into the treehouse that gives you all the creature comforts that you're used to when you're in a normal house. So these again are going to be fully functional houses, bathrooms, mini kitchens, not just refrigerators. You're going to have a sink, a range. You can cook a meal in this thing, and you're going to have the creature comforts of a hot tub when it's done as well. So let's go down here to take a look at the steel up close and how it's going together here. So when you put steel together in a building, you have two elements to connect it together. You can either weld it or you can bolt it. Now we're doing both here because we want to make sure that this thing is extra strong. So you can see the bolts that are in the steel here, and then you'll see welded plates that the bolts go to for these I-beams. Now these are pretty beefy I-beams. I mean, you look at that, these things are 8 inches and 10 inches and 12 inches in thickness. So this steel is here to make sure. Remember, I told you the last time that this treehouse had to support the weight of a 737. Now, it will not weigh the weight of a 737. I think if you filled it up with all the people that you could put shoulder to shoulder in this thing, it wouldn't weigh as much as a 737, but it'll support the weight. That's the key here. So remember the last time I was here, I told you about the magic of the tree tab, and that is the steel beam attached to the tree tab. And one thing you'll notice that's really cool about this is we have this thing in the tree tab called an uplift arrestor. Now, this is Pete Nelson hardware that we have here. We get all the design information from him. My structural engineer uses it for that. What's really cool about this element is that it supports the beam, but it lets the tree move. So the tree is going to oscillate back and forth in the wind. And actually down here, it doesn't move very much. Maybe a half an inch at the most. Probably not even that much. I'm not even sure these things are going to get a squeak out of them. Because the last time I stayed in one of his tree houses down in Treehouse Utopia, big wind was coming up. This thing was squeaking like crazy. A little uneasy, but it's fine. This one's going to be fine too. But they have these little pads on here that are like a Teflon plastic pad that's cuts down on the friction so you don't rub the metal to pieces while it oscillates back and forth. Very, very cool. That's how you put big structures up in tree houses. Now, the next big element I wanted to show you in this construction right here is this utility chase that we got here, this utility pipe. This thing serves two functions. First, it provides the access port for the telecom, the drains, the power, and the water into the treehouse. It also, you will see, supports the treehouse. So we had to pull double duty because this beam was so heavy that the two trees were exceeding the load capacities that were calculated based on the information we had from Nelson Hardware on these tabs in these types of trees. So it's a poplar with a heavy duty tab, still not strong enough. The utility chase helps support that. Now, where you see that it's connected really well to the beam is right up there. So you see that plate running across. So it just sits on the edge so that you can go ahead then and have all that space right up in there. You see the pipes coming through here? That will be where we get all the things that make this, again, all the creature comforts of home inside of this treehouse, into the treehouse, and then also protect it from weather, animals, people, all kinds of things. Then we will be working on the access for that. So the power and the water are going to come down. You can see where we got the flags marked out here to bring all the utilities down up this pipe and then into the treehouse. Now, the other thing I want to show you are these concrete pads. Look at that. That is a 4 foot by 4 foot concrete pad. Some of them go down 6 feet below the ground because we had to get on real solid ground to support this thing so it doesn't go anywhere. These things are massive. They are beefy. They are going to make sure that that steel just doesn't go anywhere for any reason. It would take a Category 5 hurricane or a F3, F4 tornado to just take these things out. You know, I think even if the trees wanted to fall, they'd have a hard time falling given how well this thing's going to be supported. So finally, after that, the next things we got to do is continue to finish the steel out. So the steel's probably going to take another week to get done. Then we can begin the construction of the treehouse itself. That's just like a house. This is like putting in the concrete foundation on a house, only it's all steel and it's hanging in the trees. The rest of it's just like building a regular old house. Really easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then finally over here, what we're going to do, this is where the hot tub is going to be placed. We still need to put the piers in for that. They're going to be smaller, and it's only, you know, there's only 4 columns that are going to have to support the hot tub. Those will start going in soon. And then once that happens, hopefully in a week and a half or so, you'll have episode 3 of me showing you the wood going up and the steel done. So I can't begin to tell you how happy I am with the progress that's finally being made. I was here on Wednesday when the first beam got laid. Let me tell you, that was a show. The guys up here are absolutely amazing at what they do. Stay tuned, it only gets better.